All right, YouTube, this is Mr. Mean coming at you this Saturday night at 8 p.m. We are getting ready to stream some low fantasy gaming brought to you by Pickpocket Press. This is my own little chaos that I've decided to put on, and tonight Mr. Hobbs is going to be streaming it on Twitch, so I hope everybody enjoys it. You guys all know me for the most part. Check out my channel, like and subscribe, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Hobbs.
All right, everyone. As he said, welcome to Mr. Hobbs's Gamerhood. Tonight we have something special for you. We're playing low fantasy gaming instead of me running it, and we have the meanest Mr. Mean and his wonderful group of players with us. I don't think we have that much more to say other than that. Why don't we head over to the group chat and we'll let Mr. Mean take over.
All right, everyone. All right, so the players, we're going to do a real quick. We're going to start with Angie. Tell us a little bit about your character.
She's muted.
Angie is a half-scorn barbarian from she's a former slave gladiator and joined the party to adventure and discover what freedom feels like.
I believe you said you're from Malik?
Yes.
Yeah. So, are you an escaped slave, or did you win your freedom in the arena?
I was granted my freedom.
Excellent. Then next up, we've got Lothar, played by Josh. Tell us a little bit about Lothar.
Lothar was a street rat that became a ranger for the Company of the Unbroken that was recruited by Captain Rainier herself. He was sent to Crow's Keep now by his captain to try and find help so that they could stand against the gangs that have taken over that town. And he is young and eager to prove himself, but he may be in over his head.
Excellent. And then last but not least, Mavius.
So I am playing Mavius. He is an Odyssean magic user. He is...
Yes, boo.
He's banished himself from Nadysia as they hate magic, and he has a very unhealthy interest in the Veil and what lies beyond it.
So, with your background, if you put that much thought in it, are the Nadysians mad that you've left?
I'm not sure they care, but I mean, I'm open to whatever. You can do whatever you want with it. It's not that much thought. Jeez, it's just a line or two. I think Josh has way more thought than I do. I don't know.
I like it. So I can torture you is the way we got. So
whatever you want.
We stream in on Crow's Keep, which hopefully everyone can see on their screen. This is a huge city built on a plinth, a rock plinth, and you can see there's a bridge there that connects it to the mainland. And these are the Argosians, and King Uldred, who's getting up there in age. I think he's in his 70s. And you guys know of him. You've probably never seen him. But he rules with a firm hand, and he spends most of his time at court fighting off the wolves that are trying to take over the kingdom before his death. And so he is a master politician, and he keeps everybody kind of infighting, but yet keeps them united to, keep peace and everything. And of course, with running a city this size, it takes a lot of work. And you guys have been adventuring together for a while, and you are quite familiar with each other, and you know your abilities and your powers and everything. You guys find yourself staying at Rumpleton's. It's a double-story stone inn, basically, with standard rooms. The food is quite expensive and the ale is cheap. The common room is lined with shelves containing books, maps, and curios from across the region. Most of the items are of little value, but of course Rumbleton would take offense if you stole it. But if you want to borrow one, take it to your room and read it, no problems. And he also kind of asked that if you journey somewhere and you find something, a curio, bring it back and share it with them. He has a real fondness for curios and stuff from around the world, and he appreciates that. And so You guys are finding yourself staying there. Your money's getting tight. You don't have much left. Mavius's curiosity. He's probably gone through probably most of the books in this place in the couple of days that he's stayed here. Angie's probably getting a little restless. Probably have started and or finished one or two bar fights. The watch kind of seems to keep an eye on you now. You seem over the last day or so. There's been more of the watch keep in and around Rumbleton's. So they're kind of keeping an eye on you because, well, you're just a menace to society, in a nice way. And then, of course, Lothar with your owl. Where are you keeping the owl? Is the owl staying with you, or is he like perched on top of the building, or because you have a very close relationship with him, correct?
I do, and he is probably on the ledge outside my window.
Okay. No problem. And you'll see that every once in a while, Rumbleton actually brings you a mouse, for him. He's just one of those innkeepers that's very cares about all of his clients, so to speak. And so your owl is well fed as well as it can fend for itself, of course. It's morning. You've broken your fast. You're ready to start your day. You're trying to look at sources of income. When one of a town guard comes in, he's wearing different colors than the livery of the town guard, but he's part of the town guard. You notice he's got a different insignia on his shoulder, and it's more of like a wolf. Looks like a wolf rearing up. And he asks, actually, he looks at Lothar and says, "Are you the ranger Lothar?
I am.
And are these your companions, the barbarian and the learned one?"
Yes, they are.
Sir Brayton bids you to follow me. He has request of your aid if you so design to take work.
We are interested, but who is Sir Brayton?
You can go ahead and make. You're from the. Where are you from? Are you from Crow's Keep?
No, it was a different city.
Right. Okay. So you can make me, and we'll do our first roll of the night. So if you go into,
I want to say it was Melek.
Oh, that's you. What is it with you guys in Melek? They're the bad guys, right?
We're all from that area. That's pretty cool.
I know, right? That's kind of funny.
Gladiator, slave.
Not by choice, maybe.
Not by choice. So basically, you're gonna make if you have lore, you could roll that, or you can just make a straight intelligence check. You do not add your intelligence modifier, but you want to roll equal to or less than. So roll a d20. What's your intelligence?
12.
12. So you want to roll a d20 and you want to get 12 or less. That's a failure.
Not with yeah.
So
I was incorrect. It was Port Brax, not Melek.
That's what it was. I knew it was something different. So you may have heard the name. Now with Mavi so learned, I would give him a chance because Sir Brayton is kind of well known, and Mavius doesn't strike me the type that would not go into an area not knowing the people. So if you'd like to make an intelligence check, and if you have area knowledge or lore or anything,
gather information. I don't have that either.
Yeah.
I guess.
So just an intelligence check.
We're new here.
And remember, if you have,
out.
and I know Hobbs knows this because he runs his own stream, and anybody listening, I highly recommend you go check it out. Wow, I think that might even. Well, you don't have the skill, so it can't be a critical success. Is that correct? Am I understanding the rule?
No, I think it can be a great success. The skill just gives you a +1 and allows you to use the reroll pool, as far as I know.
Right. Okay. So basically, Mavius, you've heard of Sir Brayton. He is a noble in his 50s, probably edging closer to 60. He is a staunch supporter of the king, and his wife died in a horrible fire. Along with the kings. But he does have a daughter, and she's about 12 years old now. And from what you know with that awesome role, his daughter is the world to him. He will move heaven and earth. He's unmarried. Of course, a lot of the courtly women still find him attractive. He's still pretty well built and gets around quite well, wears his armor everywhere. Basically to be summoned to the high tower is pretty much an honor for dregs like you guys. So you can choose to follow this knight, this guard, or you can, look for adventure elsewhere, but you'll kind of ruin my evening if you do. I say we kill him.
I will go with you.
Now take his armor.
Jason Weeb just subscribed to your channel, Mr. Mean. He's one of the Gamerhood guys. So
awesome. Thank you, Jason. Big shout out to you. You'll be sorry.
I think we go with him.
All right. So you guys gather. Are you taking all your stuff with you, or are you just going as you are?
I move around pretty light anyway, so I probably have my backpack and all of my stuff.
Angie will be taking her stuff because she doesn't leave her room without her stuff because she's only got a few things.
A big hammer and a little hammer.
Yes, she's got a big hammer and a little hammer, and that's all she's got.
That's all she needs. All right, so you follow this knight. He introduces himself as Sir Edric. And he has been a loyal retainer of Sir Brayton for 15 years now. He looks at you. He doesn't, it's not a condescending look. He just looks at you in curiosity because you kind of are a motley crew. And then he says, please follow me. And outside you see there's a very functional, militaristic looking wagon, but yet pretty nice. And he gets you in it. And he rides, you guys, he taps on the wall, the roof, and the wagon takes off. I would like all three of you to make perception checks, please. I assume you're looking out the window. The knight does not engage you in small chat. In fact, he looks like there's something very compelling on his boots.
Like detection or perception?
Just straight up perception as you're traveling through the town. Remember, low is good. You guys suck.
That was my dump stat.
I got it.
That was my dump stat, right? So Lothar's, did you get it, Lothar?
I got it.
All right. You see, as you travel, there's several posters, and these are, basically rough parchment with crude drawings on them. But you see several of them. You see about 3 of them with children. Like there's one boy and 2 girls, and it's a rough sketch, and it says missing, last seen, near the sewers, or last seen in the dregs, which is the lower part of town, that kind of thing. You see 3 of these posters. They just kind of catch your eye. Nothing else, untowards. Of course, people look. Seeing one of the Lord's carriages in this part of town is unusual, to say the least. So you're getting a lot of stares on top of that. But those 3 posters, as you're coming out of Lowtown, kind of catch your eye. It's a short ride. It's about a 20-minute ride. You get to the castle, and Eldred, takes you up. You're put into a waiting room. You have to unfortunately leave. Does Mavius carry a staff? I mean, do you look like a wizard, or do you just?
I look like a scholar probably, but I do have a rapier and a light crossbow.
Okay, so your weapons are politely taken from you and told that they will be returned to you upon exiting the waiting room. If you have a dagger, you are allowed to keep your dagger, because that's just civil. But other than that, your giant hammer and your little hammer and the crossbow and the rapier and whatever weapons Lothar has have been relieved of you, unless you protest, at which point you can wait outside. I'm assuming no one will protest.
Nah.
Angie will not protest. She'll just have this sad hangdog expression on her face, like, my hammer.
My precious. So you're kept waiting. There is refreshment, and you wait about 10 minutes, and you see this. Looks very similar to you, Mavius. He's probably in his 40s. He's a little bit stooped. And he's wearing robes. They're kind of a light blue, and he has a small staff with him, kind of like almost like an overgrown cane, and he taps it twice, and he says, "Lord Brayton of the Wolves Guard." And then you see this elderly gentleman, about 60 years old, steps in, gray hair, most of his goatee impeccably trimmed, but going gray. He's in full armor. He doesn't have his helmet on though. Does not have a sword at his side, but he does have a very ornate dagger. And he walks into the room and he takes some gloves off. Looks like riding gloves, like he had just came in. You can see there's a wisp of sweat on his brow, and he looks at you and he says, thank you for coming at such short notice. I'll get right to business. My daughter Chloe is missing, and I need someone, well, quite frankly, someone disposable who's not under the elder's thumb. And it has been told to me that you three may be of such caliber. Is this true? I mean, he's very matter of fact. He's steps right up to you, Lothar, and he's looking at you right in the eyes when he talks to you.
I'll look back at him. It may very well be.
Excellent.
Is just as a side note, I'm assuming Chloe was Chloe one of the names on those wanted posters?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. He says, I don't know how much you know of me, but I will tell you that I am a loving and doting father, and Chloe's disappearance has me perplexed. I have many weights on my shoulder, and I do not need this one. There is coin in this, and favor if I can provide it for you, if you find me, or at least tell me what has happened to my Chloe.
What can you tell us about what happened?
He has a painting of her, and she's, blonde hair. It's a painting, but that's what you're going to get as opposed to a picture, right? And it's very flattering. She's a very beautiful young girl, alabaster skin, blonde hair, seems to be of decent stature, and she has a playful smile on her face. She's a very cute little 12-year-old, and she's holding a cat, a little like calico cat in her lap. And the picture is very well done. Obviously, it takes money to get this kind of portrait done. So and he shows you the picture, and he says she's fond of playing down in the kitchens, which are in the lower levels of the keep, and she usually hangs with one of the boys. He's a bright lad, and I do enjoy his company. And let me see. I'll get you that name in just a second. Let me suspend the belief here. Elric. Young Elric is the son of the butcher. Oh, nice. Good job, Josh. I see he's putting notes down in the show. Yes, and I haven't seen her in 2 days, and to be honest, I'm getting quite worried. She's never gone for more than a couple of hours, and her nanny has no idea where she's gone. You may question what staff you will. He actually has a silver tray, and he looks over at the stooped gentleman with the staff, and he nods to him, and that gentleman leans his staff against the wall, and he goes to the table and he grabs this tray. And on the tray, you see there's this embroidered cloth with like a tassel hanging off of it. And you see that it has that wolf, the same coat of arms that you saw on the guard and you see on his chest. And he says, this is my personal signet. You may carry this. It will open most doors in the city for you. If you choose to accept this, then these you will be able to hold on to and use as you need to conduct your investigation. Does this bode well with you? Again, he's looking at you, Lothar.
Lothar will take a second and ponder it and kind of glance at his two fellows and see if there's any look of reticence or anything like that.
No, Mavius looks gleeful and a little greedy to get his hands on this thing.
Yeah, because you know what this is. You've seen these before. These are badges of honor or badges of mark. And basically, they're literally open doors. You slap that in a guard's face and say, get the fuck out of my way. And they get out of your way because these things are few and far between. And you each have one. Normally, it's only given to one. But, I mean, that should kind of tell you the importance that this situation weighs on him, that he's very serious about this. He says, if you have any further questions, please ask. If not, I bid you to be on your way and solve this riddle for me post haste.
Is this in the capital, or is this in like the main keep up here in the upper right of the city, or where are we right now? In like his manor, or
his manor is in the main keep. He is Uldred's like second to right hand guy.
And that's where we are then right now?
Yes. Okay. You're not at the very top of the keep. You're in about the mid level of the keep.
Okay.
So obviously flashing that badge isn't going to get you up into like, King Uldred's quarters or anything like that. But like the lower levels and stuff, yeah, it's going to open up many doors. Probably would get you some good discounts at any merchants that you choose to peruse, that kind of thing. It's an honor to have this, So this is very serious. He is, these things aren't given out lightly. Let's put it that way. So
I'll take the mark and give a slight bow.
He nods.
We will begin to endeavor to find your daughter.
He actually on the tray next to it is a piece of parchment. It's rolled up with a red piece of silk around it, and when he hands it to you personally, and he says, "This is the latest drawing of my daughter. Please, I bid you, find her. Give me rest. Now I have other things to attend to. I leave you to your wits, and I thank you." And I mean, the sincerity in his voice just catches you for just a second. And the look in his eye, there's almost like a tear in his eye. I mean, he is literally distraught. But unfortunately, he has other matters that are more pressing put on him by the king, and he has to attend to them. He looks over at his man and he nods, and the gentleman says, Sir Brayton leaves," and he stomps the cane that he has, and Brayton puts his gloves back on, turns around, gives you one last nod. "I bid you all luck, and may the goddess be with you." And he leaves the room and the door shut. The older guy kind of looks at you like, "What the fuck you still doing here?"
You have picture boy?
He looks at you, "What?"
Boy. She play with boy. You have picture boy?
"No." And he turns around and he leaves. like he almost looks like he has to go take a shower for talking to you.
Do
Idiot.
we think it's strange that someone of this much means would only like give us this job instead of, like a trusted guard like Sir Edric or something like that?
Give me a intelligence check.
I have insight intelligence, or
I will. Yes, you may use that. And so, for those watching that aren't familiar with low fantasy gaming, you don't add your modifiers to your skill rolls, and your skills don't have ranks. If you have the skill, you just add a +1 to whatever the governing attribute is. So in this case, he has insight. He'll add a +1 to his intelligence. Correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Ooh, 15.
Is that enough?
Yes.
You made it?
Success. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's very odd. What kind of, are you a scheming person? Is the glass half full or the glass half empty?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but he has been involved in the criminal element as much as anything. So he's kind of a thiefly wizard hedge mage, basically.
That's right. That's correct. It's with politics, and now you have the Nadician politics in your mind, right? But you're learned. You've read up on other cultures and stuff. I'm assuming. I'll take that for granted. He made a comment when he first came in that said, if you were under the thumb of other nobles, he had basically no use for you, and none of you squawked at that. And you're relatively unknown in the keep, right? So
we're disposable.
Yeah, I knew that, but it's yeah.
Yeah, it's not only that, but it's also the fact that if this is one of his opponent's power play to remove him, this is a good way to do it, right? And so he may be, you can only think that he probably wants to keep it as low key as possible. Now, that being said, why the hell would he give you his personal signet if he wants to keep it low key? But the flip side is it's his daughter. It's his only heir, right? It's his only child. So he's caught between a rock and a hard place because he doesn't want a lot of attention, but he also wants to solve this as fast as possible. So it's kind of where you guys come in because you're expendable. If you do something stupid, he can kind of write it off as just being, peasants, and he can say that you stole it. It's one of those. There's a number of angles he can take, which you're not privy to. But now the clock is ticking, and you see that knight, Sir Elric, is come in and is ready. He's opened the door and ready for you guys to leave. Is there any? He looks at you, Mavius. Is there anywhere you wish to go?
Kitchen.
He looks at me now. He's like, yeah, I guess it sounds like we'd like to go to the kitchen, sir. Is it Edric or Elric?
Edric, I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah. Edric nods, very curt, very militarily like, and he proceeds to head downstairs. And it takes you a couple minutes to get down there. The amazing thing is there are guards posted everywhere, and not one of them flinches when you walk through here because you're probably with Edred. You get down to the kitchens, and of course it's hustle and bustle. It's hot, and the smells are, divine. That you can smell breads cooking and sweets and, and meat, and, there's hustle and bustle. There's, scullery boys running back and forth. I mean, it's just go, go, go. And he takes and he says, I assume you want to talk to the butcher.
I also had a question. Do any of us know if Brayton has enemies, like specific enemies, or?
No, not. I mean, you wouldn't know that. You're not privy to the court's politics because
Okay.
you guys just, you're scrubs, for lack of, to be polite. So yeah, I mean, you could. Maybe when you get out of here, you could, look for the local scuttlebutt and see what's going on, find the town gossiper, that kind of thing. You could do some investigation that way, and perhaps that would tell you more. But for right now, I mean, you're in the keep. Nobody's going to say anything bad about him, here, especially with, one of his men standing right there.
And so this is not his kitchen. This is Lord Uldred's kitchen, right? That we're in?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Mavius is going to let Lothar take the lead while he maybe tries to hit up some of the cooks or servants or scullery maids and like maybe talk to them or see if he can learn anything while they're talking to the butcher.
Okay. So we'll is the barbarian going to stay with the ranger?
The barbarian is going to be looking around the room. Since he said that the kid liked to play in the kitchen, she's going to look for specific spots that would be a great place for a kid to play and not be in the way.
Okay. So, Mavius, you go ahead, and if you have any pertinent skills that'll go with your search, you may roll that, and then the barbarian, you can roll a perception check. And if you have the pertinent skill, you may add it as well. Remember, if you have a skill, you add a +1 to your attribute total. And
It automatically does it on the sheet.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, if you have it
I don't
clicked,
have.
If you click the roll or the skill.
So
Okay, awesome.
There's gather information, intelligence, or charisma. I have neither of them, but I do have deception. So I want to talk to them without them knowing that I'm trying to take information
I'll
from
give
them.
that to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the thing is, you're in robes and you look a lot like the scribes and stuff that run around. So it looks, and I mean, do you have Sir Brayton's favor on the outside? I mean, is it visibly seen, or did you tuck it in your robe somewhere?
I think right now I have it tucked. I don't want them to necessarily know I'm involved with Brayton. I just want to try to maybe get around here and see what they think. Because if they knew I was someone who had some power with one of the nobles, maybe, they wouldn't treat me the same as I'm hoping to be treated. Right. So.
And you're just out of game real quick. You're streaming your screen, right? So I'm free to do whatever I want on my
Exactly.
screen, right?
Yep. I'm streaming what I see, mostly my player character sheet.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But the map is in the background, and it's all of our
Awesome.
faces.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to go over to the Discord because I like to see your faces when I talk. I'm just weird like that. All right. So the
And you
barbarian,
got 8.
you got an
With
8.
success.
There are all kinds of cubby holes. There's like sacks of flour. There's spices. There's twines of spices hanging from ceiling racks in the ceiling and stuff. But you do one thing catches your eye. You see a corner of the room where it looks like some chalk has been drawn. By
I would
obviously
like to go
children.
to it.
Okay, so you're going to take a minute to look at that. We'll cut back to what is Lothar doing?
Lothar is going to talk to the butcher and his son,
Okay.
and see what they know, what were the last thing they've seen, if they might know other places that she goes to play, or people that she associates with other than the young boy.
Do you have the insight skill?
I do not.
Okay. So you're just going straight off of either your intelligence or charisma or whatever you can do to talk to this person, correct?
Well, if it's insight, that's perception, right?
Right.
So I could go off perception.
Okay. And now, Mavius, you're just randomly talking to people.
Yeah, like maybe trying some food and just seeing what the scuttlebutt in the kitchen is. And I had a success, not a great success or anything.
Okay, so just a straight success.
Yep.
And,
I had a great success.
Okay, awesome. We'll come back to you. So Mavius, you're talking to a couple of the scullery wenches, and you're tasting the soup. You dip a pinky in it, and needs a little more pepper. But what are you asking them? Or are you just listening?
No, I think I might just mostly ask them about how are things going. Act like I've been here before, and it's not a new thing that I'm wandering around the kitchen.
Looks like you're bored, right?
Yeah, and maybe at some point ask, I don't see a lot of children around. Is that unusual, or has anyone
One of
heard?
the heavy set ladies, she's kneading some bread. You can see she's got the shoulders and the neck, where she's just she probably makes bread every day for the last 40 years, right? And she's like, "Oh, the dearies, no, they're not allowed down here in the kitchen except for that damn Thom." And it's Thom. He's the butcher's son, and he's always in that corner drawing, and I have to go clean it up. He's a rapscallion, he is. And then, of course, Chloe's always welcome. She's such a bright. My dearie, well, you're a strapping lad, aren't you? Ooh, a learned one. I like books. I've seen a book once. And she's like giving you the butterfly eyes, and
Any of that bread cooked over there, ma'am?
Oh, wait, you could look like you could use a stout meal. It's just, I tell you what, don't tell the cook. And she grabs a small little loaf and she wraps it in a napkin, right? And she puts it in your hand, and her hand lingers there for a little bit longer as she pats the top of your hand, and she says, "Now you eat that, come see Syndra when you want more."
Syndra. Just
She
wonderful,
blushes.
Thank you.
She blushes. She's like, "Yeah, she's a sparkling ray of sunshine, but we haven't seen her in 2 days. I hope she's okay. Hope she hasn't gotten into any trouble. She is a rapscallion with that butcher's boy. He's no good for her, I tell you. He's way below her station." And she seems very adamant that, Thom is not good enough for her. And she gives you some choice words about the butcher. He's a sketchy sort, and always picking his nose when he's cutting the meat. Quite disgusting, Yeah, I don't know how he got to be the butcher. My ex-husband was so good at butchering deer. Alas, he took an arrow to the knee, and I had to leave him. He couldn't provide, And she looks at you. A woman has needs.
Deep needs, Syndra. Deep.
Oh, very deep. And we cut back to Lothar.
Yes, we cut back to Lothar.
I'm not normal. We all know this.
Yeah, we do.
So you got a great success.
I did.
And what were you looking for? You were going to go talk to the butcher.
I was going to talk to the butcher and I guess Tom.
Yeah. So you see the butcher. The butcher has his own little area. It's a couple of like almost 20 stairs down deeper. You're obviously underground now. It definitely feels cooler in here. And you can see there's this dark skinned man. He's pretty much bald. He's wearing a leather apron. It's very, bloody. And you could see there's various knives and implements for chopping meat and cutting meat. And you can see there's a big wild boar that he's skinning, and it's stretched up by its hind legs, and he's ripped the guts open, and he's digging in there, and he's like, "Oi, what do you want?"
I am looking for Chloe. I understand that she spends time with your son. Is he around?
I'm that no good for nothing layabout. No, he's not around. And leave me be, I'm working.
Well, then I wouldn't want to keep you very long. I'll just be a moment with you. Do you know if she hangs around with any other children, or is it just your son?
It's just Tom. That Chloe, she shouldn't be down here. It's not proper. But
when was the last time you saw her?
2 days ago. She was playing with Tom. In fact, now that I think about it, I haven't seen Tom either. Have you seen him? He looks, and he gives you a general description. Sandy hair, dark skin, missing a front tooth, dark freckles. He's a layabout, he is. Never does his chores.
I haven't seen him, but
Chloe.
is there another place that they go other than the kitchen?
Oh, yeah, they play down by the sewers. There's a grate down there. I tell them to stay out of there, but they don't listen. Kids. Up to their own.
I make a note of where he pointed so that I can lead the rest of them back.
There's a man-sized grate in the wall. I mean, you'd have to stoop. If you're above 5'5", you'd have to stoop to get into it. You can see there's like a cotter pin just hanging in it. And he's like, right, that's where we throw all the blood and guts. You can see there's a trail of blood, and there's like a wheelbarrow with like, offal in it. And... Say again?
I said viscera.
Yeah, that stuff. That's a complicated word for Mr. Mean.
That's awful.
Ooh, but yeah. Hey, you cook that stuff up, it's quite good.
So Tom has been missing the same amount of time as Chloe, and they also go around.
He kind of just lays around and eats and does nothing but play with Chloe, so I don't really miss him.
Okay, you haven't seen him in the same amount of time as Chloe,
right?
And they often play over by the sewers.
Right. It's actually, believe it or not, it's pretty clean down there. I don't know where the stuff goes, but it must go out over the keep.
Well, that's handy then.
Oh, it is. But I don't like him down there because he could fall and then he'd go out of the keep and then I wouldn't be able to get him. Who's going to do my laundry?
Lothar prudently avoids answering that question and goes on and says, I thank you for your time, sir. If I have any other questions, I'll be back, but I don't anticipate that should happen.
Right. And he goes back to digging. I mean, just slop, a big chunk of intestines into that wheelbarrow. And then
Lothar turns around and leaves.
Back to the barbarian, Angie. You go over and you look at the drawings on the wall.
Yes.
You can see that where this chalk has been, that this portion of the stone, and it's about maybe 10 inches in diameter, it's been wiped so many times that it's now kind of smooth. But you can see there's some fresh chalk marks on there, and it looks like a little boy and a little girl playing. And like they're like you see like there's some stars, and then you see like there's a grate, and it just kind of looks like just kids' drawings, like when kids write on the wall.
Okay. Is there anything else in this little area, like scraps of cloth or
Yeah, you
pieces of
find
chalk?
like a rag doll.
Angie is going to pick up the rag doll and smell it.
It is very perfumed. I mean, it is obviously probably belongs to a noble's kid. You would hazard a guess. It's very pungent to your nose. It's not a, shall we say, a pleasant smell for someone who's from the gladiatorial arena. But I mean, you're still a woman. You appreciate fine things, and this is obviously a noble's toy. This is not a peasant child's toy. Cutting back to Mavius.
So Mavius says, I think we would go to a different area of the kitchen where Syndra wouldn't necessarily see and talk up someone else and ask, see if we can learn any scuttlebutt around, like who is in the rights with Lord Uldred and who is in the wrongs.
Yeah, you do that, and it's not a problem. The people seem pretty comfortable speaking around you. You know, you're not wearing shiny metal armor or anything. You just look like a scribe. And a lot of, I mean, the majority of the scuttlebutt is very positive about Lord Brayton. He seems to be well liked. He's courteous to the servants. He's not one to beat them or abuse them in any way, shape, or form. And everyone says the same thing, that Chloe is she's a joy. She's beautiful, and she's the best thing that ever happened to him. And of course, with some of the middle-aged women, they're like, she should be married off to a royal knight, and maybe Sir Eldred's chosen or something like that. And, all kinds of scuttlebutt, but for the most part, very positive. He has enemies in the court, but it's like the general consensus is like it's always like some woman who's been scorned or something like that, or has made advances towards him to Brayton, and he's not interested. And so it's nothing malicious, so to speak. And then the higher up nobles, they don't know anything about, because they don't get that high up in the castle. So. But everybody confirms it. Yeah, it's been about 2 days since they've seen Tom and Chloe.
Okay, perfect.
So coming back to the barbarian, do you take the doll?
Yeah, the barbarian. Angie will pick up the doll, and she's going to walk over to the guard and hand it to the guard and kind of give to Papa. I have hammer. She wants her hammer back.
No, you don't get the hammer until you leave. But he takes the doll.
She's going to have
he will give it to his lord, and he thanks you. And it was like buried under a sack of potatoes. You probably smelled it more than you actually saw it. Because your nose is, you're used to smelling death, and something like that is not death. So okay, Lothar, are you going to go back and get these guys, or what are you doing?
I am. I'm going to go back and get these guys and see if we can get our weapons and gear, and if he needs to lead us down here again so that we can go down this grate and check this out.
So he's he looks. He's like, you want to go in there?
Yes.
You know what that is, right? That's the offal chute. That's where.
I've been worse.
He just looks at you and he's like, of course you have, my lady. And it almost, you can see it almost hurts him to say, my lady. He says, I tell you what.
Where lady?
What lady? What lady's it?
She looked around. What lady?
You guys wait here, and I will have your items brought to you. Oh, hold on, time out. Got to give kisses to the little guy.
Do we really have to go down the awful chute? Doesn't it seem like there's another way into the sewer?
We're following a trail.
Hey, happy birthday.
Trail of blood and guts. Surely we can find another path.
If kids play here and go down here, we go down here. I smell.
I know you smell. Very well.
So a short time later, the guard sends, you see two basically more guards, obviously junior guards, and they're carrying your guys' equipment, and they dole it out to you, and then they nod and they turn around and they leave. The butcher's just like, the butcher's looking like, what the hell? Okay. I mean, he goes back to doing what he's doing. He doesn't really care. If you see that rascal Tom, you send his ass back up here ASAP. We're going to have words.
Very well, sir.
All right. So you guys head down?
Yeah, Angie will hug her hammer and then put it on her back, and then hug her other hammer, put it on her hip.
And call it my own.
Yes. Hug it, squeeze it. She'll open up the grate and go down.
Yeah, it gives a little bit of a creak, but it's actually kind of oiled, and it looks all rusty and stuff, but you realize that as you closer inspect, that's dried blood. And so, yeah, it opens. You can see there's a trench, and on the side is maybe a foot wide is a walkway. So there's not much detritus up there. It's mostly, it goes down the trench, and then you see above there's like a fluke and there a valve of some kind that obviously when he throws the blood and guts and everything in here, as he steps inside, he probably pulls it and it just lets water come out. You see there's a little drip coming from it. And that's how they keep it from smelling too bad down here. And then, yeah, so do you guys have any sort of light source?
I do have torches.
Ooh, somebody came prepared. Who has a 10-foot pole? If you're not a real adventurer unless you have a 10-foot pole.
I don't believe in 10-foot poles.
You're all dead. Didn't come prepared. All right, so you light a torch, and it's it's your standard sewer. It's about 5 feet tall. This big channel runs in the middle. It comes down to like a cistern that branches out several different ways. What do you guys like to do?
So Mavius has a lantern if you want him to hold it, if you have a bow or something. I don't know what Lothar's main thing is.
It's a bow.
Where's your owl, Lothar? Because this is not a place an owl would want to be.
No, he's waiting outside.
Okay. That takes a lot of pressure off of me to have a owl token.
Angie will be sniffing the air and looking down and then back up. Can I tell which direction that the water flows in when he releases the valve, or do I need to release the valve?
You can kind of see it. So it comes down from the top where you came, and then it branches out 3 ways. One directly forward, still going down, and left and right, kind of at an angle. And you can see all 3 are somewhat wet, and it looks like it's just it's like a little cistern. So there's like a like 3/4 of a circle. And then, those branchways. And they're all about 5 feet wide, about 5 feet tall, with about a foot wide on each side. And then that, like, trench in the middle so that you can walk on. You can give me a perception check, if you like, or unless you have tracking or something like that.
Tracking, I think, is usually wilderness lore.
Survival?
Yeah, I've got wilderness lore, but I do not have tracking.
As do I.
Then I will let tracker track.
I need a character sheet in front of me. Isn't survival a skill?
I don't think so.
I got it.
Oh, they don't list the skills. That's the one thing that annoys me.
It's
Detection,
on the character sheet.
wilderness lore.
I think
it's on the Foundry, but not on the actual character sheet.
Oh.
Okay, that's fine. I had the book in front of me. That's okay. I will look on Foundry. I just want to make sure I'm asking for the right skill rolls.
So one of the things I did is one of the free things on his page on the lowfantasygaming.com is like a screen I think you can get from there. And then it has like all the skills and kind of what they are and what attribute they're.
Yeah, I have that as a PDF, but I
printed that page off.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
Help me, that's for sure.
Yeah, so, yeah, go ahead and give me whatever relevant skill you have that you think works. Obviously, wilderness survival is not going to do you very much good in a dungeon, sewer system.
Yeah, I just did a perception check and I was successful.
You were successful, yes. You can see that actually what you catch is a little piece of chalk on the wall on the right-hand side, past the cistern, going it lower into the dungeon. And you can actually, believe it or not, because the air is kind of stale down here, you think you've got a whiff of that perfume too.
I'm going to start heading that direction.
All right, so the barbarian just kind of sniffs the air and then just starts heading forwards. Doesn't even look at you guys. Do you follow?
I don't think this is unusual for us, so.
Yeah,
This is kinda normal.
follow your nose kind of a thing, yeah.
And she's gonna do what she's gonna do. So yeah, you follow it down a little further, and you guys don't even need to make a perception check. It comes to an area that kind of opens up a little bit. It's probably 10 feet wide, 10 feet tall. It's kind of octagonal, and again, it spreads off in 4 different ways, with that same one route going straight down, further down. But in here, you can see there's like a wooden sword on the floor. There's like some toys, blocks, and like there's a cart, and like a little wooden horse. It looks like this is the area where they came and played, if you had to hazard a guess. And you can see there's some clothes, like maybe they played dress up or something. You can see there's actually a little square box that's been turned on its side to turn it into like a table. And you can see there's some biscuits. They look about the barbarian would probably taste it. It's probably about 3 days old, 2 to 3 days old.
Yeah,
but
the
still
barbarian.
edible.
Right.
Yeah, there's a couple nibbles off of it, probably from rats, but that just adds flavor.
Rats. Extra crunchy.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks Mavius, give me a perception test.
All right, let me see how to open my character sheet again. Sorry. Here we go.
I think you can drag those skills down to your macro bar.
Ooh, a 1, so
And
that would be a great success.
Wow.
Very
Yes.
nice.
You can see over in the far right corner, where the little table was set up was in the left corner of this like octagon. And then of course in the middle would be that other tunnel kind of going straight down, or at like a 30-degree angle going down. You can see there looks to have been, you see a silk slipper, and you see a piece of torn clothing with what looks like dried blood on it. And the slipper smells of that perfume, and you see another doll that looks like it's been ripped in half.
Yeah, so Mavius rises up the lantern and, without getting too close, tries to sick Angie on the area to see what she can discover.
Angie pounces.
Yeah, you get over there,
and
yeah, there's a little bit of like, when you have an enclosed area like this and you have very little airflow and then a lot of moisture, you get like mud. You know what I'm talking about? And so you can see there looks definitely like there was a scuffle. You see some, grown-sized footprints. Do you have survival or tracking or anything like that?
So tracking is usually wilderness lore, is what it says.
Yeah, so if you have wilderness lore, you can use that.
And
If
survival.
Lothar-
That's on there.
and
too.
survival, yeah. So if you have either one of those, I would give it to you, because the mud's, it's about 1/8 of an inch thick, just for the moisture and the just general ooziness of this place.
So I have wilderness lore and I got a success.
Okay. Yeah, obviously Lothar, clearly this was a struggle of some kind. Looks like 2, maybe 3 adults overpowered these children, or smaller footprints. You assume it would be the 2 kids, and it appears to have dragged them a couple of feet, and then you see the drag marks go away, but you can tell that the footprints are a little deeper, like they're carrying something, and it heads further down to that straight path.
So I'll point that out and say it looks like they took him this way.
What kind of boots are they? Do they look like
Um,
well-made boots? Do they look? Are they like hob? With like soldiers' boots that have like some kind of crampons on them? Or
no, these look more like just like regular peasant boots.
okay, so
Single sole, single piece of leather with thicker leather sewn to the bottom, no real heel. You
okay,
know, peasants don't make heels; they just strap leather
yeah,
on. And
flatfoots.
summertime, yeah, exactly. They look like peasants' boots or peasants' shoes
They're
of some
wearing
kind.
wearing cheap Vans. I got you.
Yeah, the knockoffs from the dollar store.
About how far is this scene from the grate where we came in?
Ooh, you went a little ways down, probably a good, probably 100, yards. You've gone down. It's cooler down here, noticeably.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're a little ways away. Even if they screamed, you're not quite sure. If the butcher wasn't in his area, no one may have heard it, especially with all the noise going on in the kitchen. And even more so if the water, was running. Then nobody would hear it.
Yeah, Angie will pick up the 2 pieces of the torn doll and put them in the slipper, wrap them with the piece of bloody cloth, and then go over and put it in Mavis's backpack.
There you go, Mavis. You've got bloody, soggy. Um,
She'll be careful not to put it on his books, but she doesn't have a backpack, so yeah.
There you go.
Maybe it's cringes, but allows it.
Let's face it, could you really stop it if you wanted to? Right. All right. So do you continue to go further deep?
Yes. When Lothar points it out, after she does that, Angie will start going.
Okay. So you for a long story short, you travel for quite a ways. It's getting cooler. It's getting darker. You've gone through one torch already. You've traveled probably for a good 3 hours now.
Angie will eat the other biscuit.
Yeah. I'm sure you will. And Angie, for some reason, your token wants to say too big. I don't know why.
She's a big girl.
It's not that big. There we go. So, can you guys see the map and everything?
I'm at 50%.
Me too.
What do you mean you're at 50%?
It's loaded.
It's loading.
Cultist Temple.
Oh, it's loaded. Okay, sorry.
No problem. Why don't you tell us about your channel, and I will go to the bathroom. How late are we playing? I guess I didn't even ask.
Maybe another hour. We're coming to the climax right here.
Another hour. So can we take a?
Yeah, we could take a quick break. Yeah. Everybody take a bio break. I will load the Not all of them are for me, but they're all pretty good in and of, they're still a good read no matter what. And Scum and Villainy was very well written.
It's very much a good for the gaming industry kind of thing, and just like you, we don't do very many live broadcasts or anything like that. But as you know, on our blog, we do a lot of reviews and we do a lot of looking at game systems and game genres and things like that. And anything that's good for the gaming industry is very, very interesting for us and how it affects the audience and the kind of people that go after it and the kinds of stories that they spawn and things like that. So
that's very good. Hey, Hobbs, we'll make sure we put links to Angie's channel, Angie's Citadel, and
Awesome.
then all that stuff, and make sure you put it in the
or
chat.
Angel's Citadel.
Angels. I'm sorry, Angie Angel. Hey, I'm from Brooklyn. You're lucky I walk upright. All right, forget about it. Josh, make sure you put a link down there in the chat so that
I'll get it.
Hobbs can post it. Are we still streaming or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, as soon as Joann comes back, Hobbs, anything you wanted to say to everybody out there? Thanks for playing, first of all.
Oh yeah, no, thanks for having me. I was happy to get involved. I really am a fan of low fantasy gaming. I've done interviews with Steve on my podcast, Hobbs and Friends, and talked about it quite a bit on my other podcast, Random Screed. So if you guys want to check any of those out, enjoy. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy this joint effort from Mr. Mean and Hobbs. So
thank you very much, man. I appreciate all your technical assistance. I don't have to do it, so it's that part. So we will jump back. I'm gonna take a sip of water, and we're gonna jump back into it. Let me just do a couple little housekeeping here. And I need to add one more thing.
I can't see anything but black. Is that how you guys are, Angie and Lothar?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That's okay. That's what I want right now. I will change it in just a second. I'm setting this.
Angie's gonna get to hit stuff. Yay!
Well, or stuff's gonna hit you. One of the two.
Yay!
It goes both ways. I'm just looking.
Not if my hammer goes through their chest first.
There is that. There definitely is that. Ooh, that's perfect. Oh, that's there. Alrighty. Alright, so let me go back to here. And I'm still learning this Foundry thing. I want to make sure. Hopefully, you guys can see the map now. It may take a second.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. So, yep, you guys are all moving around. So this is the scene you see. Now, as I get better with Foundry and I learn it more, I would create the fog of war and the lighting effects. We're doing a kind of a rough playthrough here. It's more for me to get familiar with the rules and just to have fun. And I appreciate you guys bearing with my stupidity. And for everyone viewing, thank you very much for watching. So, you guys come to these big double doors that you see in front of him. There appears, you see light coming from underneath the door and silhouetting the frame. And if you listen closely, I won't be mean and make you roll, you can hear sobbing of what sounds like children.
Oh boy.
And he's gonna walk forward and look at the guys and point at the door and say, and kind of do, you want me to?
Angie, as you look at this door, it's solid metal. It's not corroded, and it's got like this almost like a big. It's a circle with what looks to be like some sort of very archaic relief of a spider on it. It looks like it's been carved into the steel. And you can see, like, the door's rusted, but where it's been carved, it's kind of shiny where they've scraped the rust away. Like, so it's been done recently. And you can see in the mud footprints and stuff. And then right, the part that's just off the map is where there's a hole with a grate over it, and you can see that's where the water runs off. So when you get past here, it's still a little damp, but not nearly, as it was what you walked through.
What do we recognize this symbol at all?
I don't know. You can make a history if you have lore. If you have arcane lore,
Yeah, I have arcane lore.
I give you that, but you're going to probably need a really good success.
All right. Well, let's see what we can do. I got an 11. Not quite a great success. My normal roll would be a 17.
With some of the other markings, you realize it's some sort of the language is archaic. It doesn't. A couple of like the glyphs or the writing, however you want to describe it. The symbol doesn't necessarily mean anything to you, but the etchings around the circle, some of the words you can make out, but it's pretty much goobly-gook. You get something about a goddess. That's about all you can really make out.
Does the door appear to be locked?
That was my question.
It looks like it is locked. Yes, you see there's some sort of key mechanism on it.
I'm going to attempt to pick the lock.
Okay.
Not with that.
Yeah, so go ahead. You should be able to move your character. Put it right there in between the split of the door. Can you move it, Josh? There you go. And then put the other two guys wherever they want to be.
It's snapping to grid, so I don't
That's
know.
fine. That's close enough. No, oops. So everybody can see. I like how Mavius is way back.
It's only 10 feet. It's not that far.
All right. So as you're trying to jimmy the lock, you hear a click, and a needle shoots out. You can give me a dex save, please. And you'll make a luck save, and it'll be modified by your dex. Is that correct, Hobbs? That's how saves work?
Yeah, on your character sheet, it'll say luck, and then a drop-down box right next to luck, and
Yep.
then you're going to click dex. And if you succeed, you lose a point of luck. A luck goes down. 1.
But if you fail, then bad things happen. So was that a success?
Yep, he needed a 13.
Oh, so all right.
So he succeeded.
So your luck goes down by 1, and now unfortunately, maybe you are directly behind him as you hear this shink, and you look up in time to see something come shooting out of the lock hole. You see Lothar is flat on the ground. I also need a luck save, a dex save from you.
All right. So the way I say it is like luck dex is what I would say.
Yes,
Luck dex.
that's what I meant to say. Oh, look at you with the good roll.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, and then of course you kind of step to the side, and I can move your character. You step off to the side, and this what looks to be some sort of steel projectile shoots across, and you kind of hear it clink 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 in the distance.
Lothar, keep your traps to yourself, sir.
I turn around and shrug.
Shit happens.
I meant, yeah, that's right. I'm like, all right then.
The door appears to still be locked. Lothar?
Well, now with the trap disarmed, I will attempt to unlock it again.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So what I'm going to say is your tools break, but we're going to allow you to fail forward, and you break the lock as well, and thus the door swings open. Am I not a kind and benevolent GM?
You are,
Yeah.
and it's very appreciated.
We're going to be here all night, which you try. Well, that's
Pretty
as far
much.
as you got, guys. Let's go back and tell them what's going on.
I could have tried if you wanted.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah. I tell you what.
Oh
You give
no,
it
I'm
one
happy.
try.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Oh, you're gonna. All right. I could have been mean and had him, cost him a luck point, but I didn't feel that was
Oh,
warranted.
we
So,
both lost a luck point anyway.
well, that's true. You did because you successfully saved. So,
Oh,
who's going to go through the door first?
Angie will go through the door first.
All right, Angie, go ahead and move yourself. I believe you can click on the little measuring stick up there in the left-hand side of the screen, and you can measure out your movement. Everybody has a movement of 30 feet unless they're impaired some way, shape, or form. So everybody can go ahead and move, and we'll say that Angie's out front. And then if you hit the space bar, yeah, there you go. It'll move you. There you go. So everyone can give me a perception check because obviously this is 5 foot, so it's a little ways away.
so it has detection. Is the skill, and it uses perception to do that. So
Okay.
if you have detection, you get a +1 in a situation like that's why I'm telling you that. That's all. And it's
Good,
up to
good.
you.
No, I appreciate it.
However you want to do it, of course.
Who was that? That was Lothar.
That was me. I don't perceive anything. I'm useless without my owl.
Obviously.
Mavius is busy looking at all the things he shouldn't be in these situations usually.
Yeah.
Oh, but not
And-
this
and-
time. Sometimes he gets
Not
lucky.
this time. Now, sometimes he gets lucky. Yeah, so we're going to scroll out. And, of course, everything's from your point of view, right, Mavius?
Yep, yep.
So you see this ruined. You see exactly what you see there. You kind of see this, there's some lichen and stuff growing on the floor, but you can see some of it's been scraped away just from normal footsteps and that stuff. And you see all these sarcophagi and pillars in between the sarcophagi, and some of them are broken. The room is very much in disrepair, and all the way at the other end of the chamber you see what looks like to be a little girl. It's represented by the butterfly icon, laying on this altar.
All right, so I don't. Oh shit. Okay, way over there.
Yeah,
I was only looking at the big room. I'm like, I don't even see any sarcophagi. But
yeah. I think I scrolled out far enough so you guys.
well, you
There
did,
you go.
but I didn't.
Oh, gotcha.
So the sarcophagi are like 25 feet long. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, they're big ones.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is that blood or is that like an old carpet?
It's old carpet. You think you can see some design.
Are the stairs going down or up to that chamber?
They're going down.
Okay, cool. So we can see all the way down there.
Yes.
Is there
you
light
can
in
see-
here or no?
There is some light. There are some flickering sconces. These statues that look like they're holding a bowl
Yeah.
are actually some of them have like oil and are lit. And then the ones on either side of where the little child is are actually lit. So there's some dim light in there, and then you guys have your torch, so you can see light and you hear whimpering. And what are you guys doing?
If he tells Angie about this, Angie is going to go stealthy.
Okay.
Because this just says trap. And I got a greater success.
Angie is a ninja.
Mavius wanders over to the nearest statue to see if he can discern what it's all about.
Okay. Discern what? The statue
Or like, does he recognize any of the iconography? What are they trying to
Yeah,
depict?
this is the old. Yeah, this is obviously some sort of ritual burial for like the second generation or the second. I forgot what they call it in Argosian. The ones who came, the forefathers of the current rule, and it's just in disuse. It's obviously some sort of temple to like the kings or the elders, and it's just it's kind of far down here, and it's out of use, and so nobody's kept it up, that kind of thing.
It's massive.
But
He
yeah.
calls over to Lothar, his voice echoing, massive, 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 massive.
Yeah.
As
And
he's trying to sneak
Lothar
out.
will shh.
Yeah, that was the bad part. Because when he says it's massive, you hear, what? What was that? Go see.
Best douse the light then. I will.
Yeah, well, they've kind of seen you already.
Oh, all right. So we can't get sneaky.
Well, I'm going to say with a 2 that Angie, if you right-click on your token, and you see the upper right hand, you got 2 columns, 3 each. The upper right one is toggle visibility. You can actually go invisible. You made such an awesome stealth roll, and they barely succeeded at their perception check, so they don't see you at all. Can you see that?
I don't think we have that capability.
I don't think we do.
So there you go. Angie just disappeared.
That was Mavius.
Oh, was that maybe? I'm sorry. I thought that was Angie.
Angie's the half-naked chick, not the dude.
Right, I have my map zoomed out so far that I can't really make out your tokens. There you go. I got you that time. So, and that's just a feature of Foundry, but for lack of a better, you're standing in the open, so they just don't recognize you right off the bat. So, what are you guys doing? There, you see 2 of these. They appear to be humanoid. They're wearing these grayish black cloaks, and they've got kind of like red hoods, and they're pulled up over their head, and they're starting to move your way.
Right there, my lord.
Let's
cleaning service.
Cleaning service. Nice. Let's go ahead and let's begin. We're not going to actually begin combat. We're going to. Oops.
For clarity's sake, the butterfly is the girl?
Yes.
Okay.
Always been a fan of clarity, my lord.
I'm just trying to remember how to roll initiative.
With dice?
So in this game, one of the methods is it's all player facing. We would just roll initiative, and the game master doesn't do anything. If we succeed on our dex check, then we go first. If we fail, then we go after.
Right. But there's a way to do it in Foundry, and I, for some reason, have totally blanked on it. And that's what's miffing me.
If it's player facing, you probably don't do anything, and we probably just roll our initiative.
Right. And if you guys succeed on a dex check, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you get to go before the bad guys. If you fail, you go after the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh no, not initiative.
Son of a...
Has anyone found out how to roll initiative on their sheet yet? Oh shit.
It's just a dex check, isn't it?
Well, there's an initiative bonus up there. I see there's a thing that says a nit bonus, but
that's only if you've got an ability that gives you an initiative bonus.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering how that would fit in with if you just did a dex check. I thought if it says a nit bonus, it would have a die roller up there. But anyway, I'll just click dex. I'm cool with that.
We'll just roll with it. Oh, so that's a success. That's
great success, sir.
Yeah. Ooh, you guys.
Another one.
Who's the purple?
Lothar.
That was Lothar.
It's 2/3. We win.
Had a little doom and gloom there.
Yeah, boy.
Oops.
No, this music is not okay. This is the music that plays right before my character gets their ass kicked.
Well, now, isn't it funny that I chose the right music? I mean, that's just amazing.
Is it from Dark Souls? No.
It's actually some free music that I got from Foundry.
Nice.
I'm composer.
There's
Really
5 or 6 add-ons that have this.
Yeah. It's really
really
good.
cool.
There was a way to click and drag into initiative, and so I'm an idiot.
There's like an initiative thing on our character
No,
tokens.
yeah, you guys can do yours. And then what I can do is roll the initiative for the bad guys. As you see.
So you're not doing the dex check thing.
I just did a D20. They all made it except for 2 made it, 2 didn't. So and I can rearrange the initiative. So I know Hobbs got an excellent initiative, so you're going to go first. And I think.
Yeah, Angie did too.
If you right-click on your token, it'll say one of the icons is toggle combat state. Click that, and you can roll initiative from the initiative tracker.
Right, and I got it for right now for this round. Lothar, what did you get for it? You got a 6, right?
Lothar got a 16.
Oh, 16. Ooh. And what about Angie?
Angie got a.
Angie got a 6.
You were the one that got the 6. There we go.
We have combat state on our tokens.
Yes.
Yeah, right click on your token, you'll see a little cross sword and shields.
Yeah.
That is your combat state. And
what do I do with it?
You just click. You don't have to do it. I already did it for you.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, low fantasy gaming does initiative a little differently. Like in D&D, we would click that and we would do it. In this case, 2 of the cultists got really good successes. 2 of the cultists failed.
Usually in low fantasy gaming, the game master doesn't roll initiative at all. It's just what the players roll. If they succeed, they go before the monster. If they fail, they go after. That's just so you don't have to roll initiative at all as a game master.
Okay. That's even better. So
but the Foundry add-on, if you click toggle initiative, it'll pop you into the initiative tracker with a little dice icon. If you click the dice icon, you remember how you were asking how you roll initiative?
Yeah, where's the initiative?
That's how you actually roll initiative.
Where's the initiative thing?
When you first click the toggle combat tracker on your icon, and it pops you into the
It never popped me into anything when I clicked it.
If you look at the tabs at the top, you've got the chat bubble, and the one next to it's a fist.
Yeah.
When you look at that, it'll show your icon and then a dice next to it.
Okay.
You click the dice and it'll roll initiative and put your total there. Yeah, it is kind of cool.
And basically, Josh, unfortunately, low fantasy gaming does it a little bit differently. So we could sort of skip this, but it's built into Foundry and it's more for like games like D&D. But so what I can do is
we should take notes on this and then tell Dab, and then I bet you he could make this work.
And he may already know the answer, and that's part of why I wanted to kind of stream this, because Dab did say he was gonna watch it, and then there's 2 other guys that were working on it, and kind of like I said, it's kind of a learning experience as well for all of us involved. So I appreciate you guys, fuddling with this with me. So I believe what I can do. Is that brings you to there. I'm trying to see if I can. So I'm just trying to find out the best way. So I believe Hobbs, you're going first. So we're gonna go low to high here. So
how far away are they?
Oh, they're quite a ways away. If you do the measurement thing, you'll see they're quite a ways away.
I can't even see them. They're way over there.
Right. So you'd have to move up.
Oh Jesus.
The unfortunately the downside is you screamed, whatever it was you said.
Oh yeah.
And they heard you. I made a perception check for them, and they heard
that's
you.
all good with me. I intended it to be that way.
Right, you meant.
Angie is still stealth.
I meant to do that.
That's right.
So I mean, we could all.
We're a little premature on the combat phase, but that's okay.
I'm just gonna move up here, douse my lantern, and slink into these shadows next to this thing.
All right.
And you are, I believe, a stealthy critter.
I do have a stealth capability.
Right. So if you would like to roll that to see if you can beat their perception, that would be fine.
I forgot where the character sheet is. There it is.
This is where definitely 2 monitors or 1 big one really comes in handy. Wow, yeah. You are the master of the shadows.
Yep, that's a great success as well.
So, and then what I can do is on Hobbs. So, let me get this. I'm just trying to see if this will work. That resets initiative. We've already rolled initiative, so. All right, so then next up is Angie.
Well, since Angie's already stealth, she's going to move to where she's in the shadows as well.
You can move. You can move 60 feet, or if you do all your actions, you can move 90. So you can haul ass over there if that's what you want to do. Your stealth roll was awesome, so you can definitely, yeah, you can.
Poof! There it is.
Poof!
And
There
then,
it is.
And then, unfortunately, Lothar rolled like shit. No offense, Lothar.
I feel like this might happen a lot to Lothar.
No.
It's not his fault.
I don't mean Josh. I mean Lothar. In our previous adventures, Mavius and Angie go run off while he's just stuck in the middle to try and draw the people to him.
Well, that's why Angie moved to where she is, because when they come down the stairs, she can step up behind them and smack the crap out of them with her hammer.
There is that.
Precisely.
That's exactly what she meant. All right, so that guy moves.
So did we see these guys before or no? Because I don't remember you saying they were there.
Yeah, they popped up. They were kind of stealth
Around the
and kind of
pews
in
and
the
stuff?
dark.
All right.
Yeah, and when you guys started making noise, so
It's
they're
all right.
gonna-
You don't have to say you guys. You can just say you if you want to. I'll accept that.
Hey, my Brooklyn came out. I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
These guys are gonna. He's only gonna move to there. Alrighty. And oops, Hobbs, you're not dead. Hobbs, it's back. Oh wait,
yet.
Lothar, you get to go, sir.
All right, I'm gonna close with these guys as well.
Alright. Like I said, you could move 90. That's pretty much your action, unless you want to move 30 and then fire your bow. But I think you might still be out of range. I'm not quite sure.
I think I'm gonna move 60.
Okay, so if you click and drag, and while you keep the mouse button held, hit the space bar, it'll move you to that spot. So you hit the ruler icon, and then left click and drag it. It'll bring up the ruler. And you guys can only control your characters. You can't interfere with anybody else's. Now hit the space. There you go.
Ah,
so that's all
that's
you're
cool.
doing?
All right.
Yeah. Are you done?
Yeah, he's gonna draw his bow and get ready.
Okay. And then some reason it wants to skip Hobbs. So, Hobbs, you doing anything?
I will keep on stealthing up here.
Okay. You are. Is that all you're going to do?
Yeah, for now I'll have my crossbow ready.
All right. And then this bandit will do his thing. I say bandit because that's the generic token I'm using.
I was like, bandit. These seems like cultists.
All right. And then Lothar, you get to go again. Are you within range?
I am now of that front guy.
Okay. So I believe if you hit the little target icon up there in the upper left and then you click...
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you've already got him targeted. So now you can roll your ranged attack, and you probably need to know how to do that. Oh, boy, he got me beat. That is a miss. Let me double check. That is a miss, yes. So your arrow goes wide. So, are you done, Lothar?
Yeah, I only get one shot.
All right, and then let's see which bandit this was. Oh, him. I said bandit again. I apologize.
I feel like they really are bandits. They're bandit cultists.
I'm trying to throw you guys off. All right, he has done what he can do because he can't see. This one is going to, again, move to right there. See, is that get him within range? He doesn't have line. He can, let's see, how far are... Yeah, no, he can't see that far out.
This place is huge.
It is. Angie, you are up. You can see that bandit. One of the things I forgot to download, and it's my fault, is there is a ping feature, so I can like in Roll20, if you guys have ever used Roll20, you can ping the map where it creates a little bullseye on the map, a kind of little like radar blip that says, hey, here. So unfortunately, I'll get that for next time. But yeah, you can see that one cultist person again. It's got a strange gait to it as you watch it move, and it is covered in rags and these cloths.
Strange gait, like skipping or galloping
Kind of
or stumbling.
Like a very erratic movement. Yeah, kind of. Well, not like something that moves on two legs, like more like moving on multiple legs. Yeah, so it's a little disconcerting. They just don't move. Like it's very twitchy when they move.
Angie would like to hold action until they're close enough for her to smack.
Okay, that is totally doable. So you're done, in other words.
Yeah, because
one of the things you can do is you can go, you can give up your actions and go defense. And I just read it, and I don't remember. I know you +2 to your AC, and your attacker has disadvantage, and I believe you have advantage on parry or dodge. Which in this case, it just like D 5th edition, you roll 2 dice, take the better. The bad guy has to take the lower.
Yeah, I'll go defensive. I'm waiting.
And that lasts until the start of your next turn. So, bandit. I keep saying bandit. I'm sorry. I'm doing it just to mess with you guys, to throw you off. That's all. Angie, from where you're at, you can see these two that are closest to you. You can see something shiny in their hand. You would probably say, with your martial knowledge, those appear to be some sort of daggers. They look curved. Mr. Hobbs.
They seem to be spread out. Are they spread out because do all of them have the erratic gait, or just these ones that are closest?
From your angle, you can only see those two that are up close. So I would say, yeah, so far those two seem that, yeah, they have that same, like, almost like a skittering movement. Mm-hmm. If you move to there...
I'm going to creep up there, so...
Okay. Anything else?
Trying to look. I'm like he's considering to breach the veil and use some magical capabilities, but for now he's still holding off.
I would say, game-wise, just I would say set a D20 in front of you, and as you cast spells, move the die up as needed. And then, obviously you can roll in Foundry you can roll just a generic D20. And if
I think he added the DDM thing to the sheet.
He did. It's on the last page.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
But does it keep track?
Yeah. It auto keeps track.
Yeah.
On the effects page, it's Dark Nature's Magic.
Which I'm not sure is the right idea, because sometimes you'll get like 2 points of DDM instead of just 1 for certain spells. So that's I would say I'm not sure.
Do you have any of those spells? I don't think you do at first level, do you?
What's that?
You don't have any of those.
No, I just mean in general.
But yeah, I do remember reading that when I was reading the DDM.
Like I have in one of my LFG games, they're like in a ley line, and so it does double. The spells have double effects, plus the DDM jumps higher at a time, so that would be difficult to do if it was automatically keeping track.
Nice. All right. So are you doing anything else?
Nope. Right now I'm just still trying to be hidden and keep an eye on things.
Right. This one. Is there. Let's see how far. Still a little too far away, Angie. You can see this one's coming closer to you, and it seems to have seen you now. Lothar.
I'm going to shoot at him again.
Okay. Which one are you shooting at?
Same guy. He's still targeted.
Okay.
That is much better.
That is much better. Let's see. And he is a mook. So you have hit him for... you have killed him, sir. So, huzzah.
Who's next?
So yeah, he comes running down the steps, and you can see as your eyes are a little bit better, shall we say, and the arrow just literally just skunk right through his throat, and you hear this like gurgling, and but instead of how do I describe it? The blood that you see spurt from his throat where your arrow pierced him isn't like coppery red. It's more of this viscous kind of gooey green kind of reddish ichor. And then as you see as he jumps back as this arrow pierces his throat, you can see that his face isn't humanoid. It's more spider-like. And then you hear the clank of the dagger as it falls and hits the ground, and his body slumps with this gurgling. And it falls.
Not human, are we? And I'll say it loud enough that they can hear me.
And then hopefully you guys see the little skull icon on the token.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means it's dead. So, and I think I can remove him. Oh, yep, he's already dead. So awesome. Are you done, Josh? Lothar?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Bandit. This one comes running forward. That's all he can do. Then this one. Whoa. Scroll.
Are they saying anything as they come forward?
You can make a perception check if you think you might be able to hear something.
I'm willing to try. So I don't have detection, so I will just roll a straight up perception. Oh, that's gonna fail. A great failure. A terrible failure, I mean.
Yeah, but in this case, it just means that you've made your presence known, and as you can see, there's one right there next to you. Hi! And here's the thing. When it gets up close, you see that instead of legs, it has these, like, for lack of a better word, very insect-like appendages. And it does have two arms, but they're black, and they have these long, like, spikes on them, like almost like hair. And the face has mandibles instead of a jaw, and it's like clattering, and you can see there's like this clear like saliva just dripping from its mouth, and the mandibles are moving back and forth, and you can see there's some fangs in there, and it's like, and instead of human eyes, it has like 4 eyes, 2 closer together at the top of its forehead, and then 2 lower where its normal eyes would be, but they're black and glossy, and it is looking at you like it's hungry and you're a ham sandwich.
Lothar!
Alrighty, so that was his turn because that took his whole movement. So this one, where is he? There he is. He's gonna do the same. Oops. Took his whole movement to get there, though. Mr. Hobbs, you may go. You now have 2 of these weird creatures on you.
So, Mavius drops his crossbow and immediately begins intoning the abhorrent mystical tongue that he had learned in the secret tomes stolen in a hidden tomb. He's going to cast Insidious Slumber.
And that affects only one of them, right?
No, it's a bunch.
Area effects? Okay, yeah.
I think I put all the information on here. I don't know if it'll actually...
Yeah, let's see. If I double-click on your character, I should be able to see its spells. Yep, Insidious Slumber. There you go. I see it.
I actually wrote all the stuff, but it's not showing up. So
yeah, you have to click in it, and it doesn't show it. Bummer.
That's what I was trying to... If I do this, it still doesn't. Maybe I didn't save it. Son of a biscuit. I thought I did. Don't know. Anyway, it does...
you know what the spell does?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's in those tables that Dab updated, if the spells are in there.
I don't know either.
I believe it is.
44 hit dice worth of creatures. Friend or foe in a 15-foot radius.
Right. So I think...
I put it about 15 feet away from me.
Yeah, so you're targeting it to where it'll catch those two and not you, I take it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you can get them both. They are, if I remember correctly, they are one hit die. Yeah, I shouldn't tell you that, but for the sake of learning the game and learning so the viewers can see, they are just cultists.
No luck save allowed.
Oh, really? So if it works, they just go night-night?
Yeah, but I need to roll my DDM. Is it in a box? Well, my DDM's already at a 3. It should be a 1. Enter. Alright, so good, and it moved up to 2. Yep. So they basically should go to sleep if they are affected.
Well, they are, because they are humanoid. Let's see here. I even have... Oops.
Is it in the rollable tables? Is that where... Oh, here they are. He just did sleep. He didn't do Insidious Slumber, which I don't blame him.
Yeah, he didn't give them the names. And you can go in there and edit all of those if you wanted to. Are you done, Hobbs? I guess you still have your movement, yes?
Yeah.
Now,
he'll scrabble backwards.
That was your action. Now, there's no bonus action or anything in the game. But technically, if you stay there next round, they stay asleep until they are interfered with, correct?
Yeah, it just says they fall into a magical slumber. It doesn't have any of the text on how easy it would be to wake them up or any of that, so that would all be up to you.
Yeah,
it is for D4 rounds or D4 hours.
Yeah, so why don't you roll me a D4?
Oh, geez, we need to know.
Yeah, and you see the D4 down there at the bottom of the chat window?
I didn't mean to do a +1. So 3 hours.
So 3 hours. And I believe the only way they can be awakened is they're roughly shaken or if they are attacked.
Okay.
Or
like I say, it doesn't say.
Loud
so
noise. Yeah, I read the spell. That's why I was asking you earlier what your spells were.
Okay, sorry.
But we were saying, no, that's okay. I'm one of those anal kind of guys. I like to know those things. But basically what could happen is if you stayed where you were in your next turn, you could slice one of their throats, and there's nothing, because I would just give you the coup de grace, is what I'm saying. But that's it. Your turn is over.
Yep.
All right. That bandit is dead. Lothar, your turn, sir. These two, you saw Mavius. When you enchant your spells, Mavius, what does it look like? What you say these weird words? You're making gestures with your hand. Does anything happen? Is there a physical effect?
A purplish light traces off of his fingers as he makes strange geometric shapes and runes in the air before him, and then he brings his fist down, and then they kind of disseminate over him like purplish motes, and then they fall asleep.
Yeah. So
nice.
Two slumped bodies on the ground where Mavis was standing, and now he is retreated back.
Yeah, and I basically fell back after that, and then scuttled back on my ass like a crab walk to get away from these nasty little.
Oh shit!
So I guess I'm going to fire at the last guy because he's still within longbow range.
I think it's her turn. I think it's Angie's turn. If you care.
Oh yeah, it should be Angie's turn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Luther can shoot.
All right. Yeah, it's kind of moot at this point.
Yeah, good. Goes up. Son of a.
Ooh.
Oh, that might be a hit. Is that 13?
No, it's a miss. Equal to or greater than their AC.
Yeah,
And I
13 is.
believe you're rolling at long range. Is that long range for your bow?
It just says the range is 250.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that's
that's it.
short range. So 750 is long, I think.
Yeah, okay. So, wow. Because if you were at long range, you'd have to roll with disadvantage. But no, you're okay. You missed, though, unfortunately. Equal to or better than for attacks. And just for transparency, their AC is 11.
So
Oh, wait.
that's
You
that's
rolled a
hit.
13.
Yeah,
I was
that's a
looking at
Yeah,
that.
it hit.
So, yes, sir, you did hit. And your damage is 4? Is that
Yep.
correct? Alrighty, so... you did...
I don't know, Mr. Mean. I think you need about twice this number of cultists to mess with us. We haven't even let Angie kill anything yet.
Do you really want to talk shit before the adventure's over? I mean, do you really?
I would like to note that Angie is just sitting here quietly.
Right, Angie hasn't said shit. I like it. Lothar, are you doing anything else?
Nah,
You can move. You gonna stay?
I'm the bait. I'm gonna stay.
You're the bait. All right. That one is not dead. So, oops. No,
Yeah, Angie is just waiting for them to get close enough to where she can smack the ever-loving shit out of them.
oops. All right. So this one runs all the way there with his dagger.
Kill it.
Does that mean
Kill
he's
it.
dead?
He's asleep. Angie, you're up. He's about 70 feet away from you. Oh, that one's closer, huh? That one.
No, that's me. You're looking at Angie's
Oh,
right next to him.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry. Well, it was nice knowing you, Mr. Cultist. You literally jump out and surprise him?
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump out and surprise him.
Yeah.
I guess I just
He kind of knew
Oh, my
you knew
strength?
something was there. So, yeah, you just click and move him right up next to him. And one more over. There you go. And now if you hit the little bullseye there in the upper left-hand corner, select target.
so I just hit him with my strength, I guess.
So, yeah, if you, you will go to the weapons table, because you didn't add your weapon to your character sheet, did you?
Yeah, I've got it. I don't have a way to roll it from that.
I had to put it down in my bar at the bottom. I couldn't figure out how to roll it from my sheet either. Did you do that, Josh?
I did. It took me a bit to find it though.
Yeah. So if you take the hammer, you have a great hammer, and you drag that down to your macro button down there, number 1. Then you can click on that, and then you would. So that's definitely a hit.
And it's gonna do 6 damage, it looks like.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh! Suffer on a natural 19 to hit roll, you daze, rattle, or unbalance.
Yeah, you rolled a 16 though.
Damn.
Yeah, because you're plus 2 plus
natural
1.
19. So good try.
I wish it was a 19. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So when you hit him for 6, oof.
So he's
I
got
want to
10 on
smack
now.
him into the wall.
He's got 10 on him?
I
Is that
did
the
4
one?
and she did 6.
Oh, he's dead. He just crumples to the ground. There's a big splat, and again, this viscous, kind of greenish, reddish ichor kind of just rolls out of his chest robes where you hit him, and you can see, you heard a sickening crunch as your hammer impacted, and you realize that he's not wearing armor. That's chitin. And it's like part of his body. It's like really gross. It's kind of black and hairy looking, sparse hair, think like a big spider, like a tarantula. But it's hard and it crunched and it's this foul smell. It's not good. Not good at all. Yeah, he goes down. Are you done, Angie?
Yeah. Well, Angie's going to start walking over to the 2 that are still asleep.
Okay, you can take I think you've got about 25 more feet of movement. Mr. Hobbs.
So Mavius gets up and slides out his rapier and a cloth that he holds over his face as he kind of scrunches away as he slides his rapier into a deadly place on the spider creature, like as it scrunches into it.
Are you doing both?
Just one right now. It takes him a little while. He's slow.
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So that one's dead. Lothar, you're up, sir. Coup de grace?
Yeah, with my short sword.
At which point, I think that's all of them, isn't it? Oh no, he's dead. Yeah, they're all dead. You got
they're
them
all
all.
dead.
Yeah. So long story short, depending on what you want to do, you can move your characters. You're out of combat now.
Yeah, Angie's gonna have her put her massive hammer back on her back and run up there and check the girl and take a good long sniff to make sure it's the right girl.
It is definitely her, and next to her, dead on the floor, kind of crumpled off to the side. Actually, give me a perception check.
Lucky number 13.
Yeah, it was a failure.
It was a failure? Okay. So why don't you move your token up to the altar? We're out of combat, so you can just move it all the way up there.
I like watching it slide.
It is kind of cool. At which point, as the rest of you are starting to move...
So Mavius was actually going to walk in slowly, and he puts both of his fingers out as he tries to see if he can sense any magic around.
What's the range on that?
It's 30 feet. And it's not, this isn't the magical one. Any human can just try to sense magic around them, but it takes a few minutes. He does have a magical way to look for it as well, but he's not doing that at this second.
Okay. And does that require a roll? Is it like a perception check?
Yeah, it's a perk or int check.
All right. So you can decide, and you can. Are you doing it right there, or are you kind of doing it
as he's walking? He just kind of walks into the room.
Okay. Yeah. Are you going to keep doing it as you're crossing the room? Because this room is pretty big.
Yeah, that's just kind of like as he was walking down the center of the chamber towards the altar.
So why don't you put your character where your final destination is?
Oh, he's going to go all the way to the altar.
You're going to go all the way to the altar. That's excellent.
I don't like the fact that he said that.
What? I'm just stating that he moved. You're going all the way to the altar. Okay.
Yeah, I would slowly go all the way to the altar. Yeah.
And you're doing your detect magic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't sense anything when I get there, I actually may cast Pierce the Veil to look around. It depends on how much time we're here, and I don't want to take up all the time or anything. But
As I'm walking towards them, I'm not going to go all the way to the altar, but I'm policing my brass. I'm going to pick up the arrows that I used and re-put them in my quiver.
Okay. I would say that you are able to probably. I think you fired 4 times. You missed the first one, though. I remember that. So
3.
you find 3 of the arrows. Ooh. Is that you, Mavius?
yes,
Dick. I hate you. I know we've just formed our friendship, but
it didn't take you nearly as long as everyone else to hate me, Mr. Mean.
that's true. Well, I'm kind of a nice guy. As you do that detect, when you're sensing it, your spider senses go off, so to speak. And just as they go off,
Oh boy.
boom. Do you see that?
Yeah, let's zoom it in, Gamerhood, and see what we got. Looks beautiful.
No, it doesn't. And as it drops down, it literally drops basically on top of the little girl, and you see these big fangs just pierce her, right? And they're so big that one goes in her chest and one goes in her abdomen. And she's kind of like tied up, and she just screams. And as she screams, you see this viscous, like neon green liquid just come out of her mouth, and her eye ducts and out of her nose, and then her body slumps.
Is there an opportunity for a rescue exploit in that or not?
Yeah, you can definitely try that.
Angie would like to do a rescue
Okay.
because she's literally like reaching out to pick up the girl.
Yes.
All right. So the spider had the drop on you guys because it was kind of invisible, and unfortunately his detect magic kind of thought. So if you make this successful rescue exploit, you'll be able to snatch the girl before the spider sinks his fangs in. But if you fail, well, that appears to be Chloe, and well, let's just say you're going to have to give the knights some very bad news. So,
Yay.
All right, so what do I do? What do I roll?
Hobbs, you want to refresh
So,
our...
with the rescue exploit, you have to be within 30 feet, and then
Which you are.
need to make a dex check to make sure you can get over there or whatever.
Yeah, I'm within 30 feet.
Yep, so just make a dex check.
And you are too, Hobbs. So, but it's only one member can do it, right?
That's what I do, yeah.
right. I think that's the way I run it as well.
So
So-
just make a
And-
dex check.
So I just make a dex check.
Yep,
Right.
that's
You
the
don't
first
add
part.
your dex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a dex check first.
So you want to roll equal to or less than your dex.
Ooh,
Ooh, now this is available for a reroll, correct?
yep.
And you have a reroll, which means you spend your reroll. It's on your character sheet. You only have one as a first level character, and you can roll again. It's basically like giving you inspiration.
Okay, yeah, I'll use my reroll to try and reroll it.
All right. So now your reroll is 0. You have no more rerolls, and you'll roll again and hopefully get below your dex.
Yes.
It was not.
Well, I equaled my dex, which counts. Yay!
Yeah.
Says-
Yes, your dex
So-
is a
Yoink!
6.
So now you actually have to make a luck test, and then you can decide what it's modified by, Mr. Mean, if it is. So, like Dex, maybe if you want to be fast or
I would
strength.
say it's
however
it's
you
going to
want.
be.
And usually there's a narrative that goes into it. Like you have to say, Angie, like I'm gonna spin up there and grab, or I'm gonna shoulder into the spider, or however you want to do it. Usually it has to make sense narratively, which is a very obvious. You just grabbed her, like you said. So.
Yeah.
So now you'd have to make a luck check. This is the hard one.
Yeah, because this isn't modified by anything, right? It's,
Well, Dex you would choose if she has a Dex modifier, but
So
it's
your normal luck is 11, right? And then whatever your dex modifier is.
unless she had to spend some on a I don't think she had to on the traps. So
No, you didn't.
So on your character sheet, you find luck, and then there's a drop-down box, and then click Dex, and then it should roll. If that's what it's modified by, it's up to you. Mia.
Yes, yeah, I'll go with Dex because she's trying to beat the spider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
You can do this, Angie. Don't make
I've got you two talking to me and Josh talking to me at the same time, and it's like, wait, one at a time. Okay. My luck is at 11. Mm-hmm. I do my Dex. And then I click luck.
You should be able to click luck, and then a drop-down box will open. Oh, that probably doesn't make it. That's probably close. I think.
Ooh.
No.
Oh, a 13 is what it was. Oh, dang.
Can I take the blow instead?
You know what? Narratively speaking, because you failed, I will say yes. And so you're able to basically, so you throw your body over Chloe, and as you do that, you kind of leap up, kind of like you're leaping over something, and you interpose your body between the spider and Chloe. And then as you're doing that, go ahead and make me a strength check, which this should be okay for you. You should probably.
It's a success.
All right. So you're able to literally interpose yourself between the spider and Chloe, and then with your dominant hand, you drop your warhammer. You grab Chloe, by whatever, it's obviously silk webbing of some kind, and you yank her back towards Mavius, and she probably falls on the ground right there in front of the altar. She's a 12-year-old girl. She's got a little weight on her. But unfortunately, you are going to take the bite from the spider.
Okay.
And that is going to be, I think, ooh.
That is not a hit.
Nope, but because he's a major, well, they don't get, they do have luck. Now they can't use, Hobbs, correct me if I'm wrong, they can't use luck for an attack, correct? Oh, no. I'm sorry, I rolled the wrong thing, so that roll doesn't count. Let me delete that. They actually have the character sheet filled in.
Yeah, so for a boss monster, their rules are different, so there's all sorts of things. But they also get like their hit dice as a bonus.
Right, and he gets it. So, does a 15 hit you? What's your
yes,
AC?
a 15 hits, because I've got a 12 AC.
Ooh, so 6 points of damage, and okay, you can make a luck con save to resist the poison that is starting to curse through your body.
Now.
Oh. So
this may sound terrible, but is it possible for me to do a rescue on Angie?
You can try. Angie, your dex is reduced by 1.
Oh.
So go into your character sheet and reduce your dex by 1.
That seems like a gimmicking the system a little, because it wasn't really an attack. Well, it was like it was a failure. You allowed her to save the kid to take the hit, so for me to try to do a rescue exploit to save her seems a little funky.
Yeah, but we did state at the beginning that you guys were boon companions.
Oh yeah.
And,
I would love to try if I could.
Yeah, I would give it to you totally, because you guys are gonna have to face this spider. It's not gonna go away.
Right.
So, I'm actually gonna move Angie. Oops, as soon as I can do that.
So, but if I'm successful, then she's not bitten, right?
Yes, I'll give that to you.
Yeah, so basically, Mavius.
And you're within 30 feet, so you can try it.
No, runs up there and try it. She's
move your guy up the altar.
Mavius, so he'll.
Yes, please become in range of my.
All right, so that I made that.
So now you got to make a luck roll.
What do you want me to use? Strength, dex, what?
Well, it would probably be shitty to force strength on you, but
you can. That's all right.
Yeah, well, yeah, because she's big and burly, and you're trying to pull her out of the range of the spider. Oh, look at you! What a beast! So, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, you're gonna move yourself. Alrighty. So now, add you guys to the combat. Lothar is back here. I'm going to add you as well.
So does that mean I don't take the hit to my dex?
No, you don't. You don't even take the bites. All that damage is moot. Basically, these things are like retcons. It's your player agency to affect the story. And it's basically there's also a retreat one, which is it's awesome because it keeps you guys from dying. Of course, you're failures and you're cowards because you ran away. But hey, that's just Mr. Mean speaking. Retreat to fight another day is a very viable tactic in my book.
The more luck we burn, the less the chance of the success.
Right, it goes down. Yeah, that's down. But it can never go below 5, correct?
Yeah, it just keeps going, as far as I know.
All right. So this is a boss monster. I do like you guys have already picked up on it. You're rolling your initiative, so awesome.
All right, so tell me how to do that again, Josh. I'm in the thing.
Right-click on your token.
And then go into combat. There it is. I see it.
Yep. Ooh.
Beautiful.
Well, it's better to get that out of the way now, right? Alrighty. So Lothar, you are first. Then the spider. Oh, he's visible now.
Well, it's low. You want a low roll,
Yep,
right? Unless you're going to do it the other way.
I'm going to do it the other way just because that's more familiar for me.
It makes sense, too, because we're getting modifiers on it and it added a 2 to it, so it should be subtracting. And I'm going to go to the bathroom.
And
I'll be right back.
We can let Dab know. So Lothar, what are you trying to do? Now, the rules in this game are a little bit different than D&D. You can shoot into combat. The giant spider is in combat, basically, with and actually he should actually be right there. The problem is you have a 33% chance to hit one of your friends or a non-combatant. In this case, it's the giant spider and then your 2 compatriots because they are within melee range of the spider. So before anything, you would roll percentile dice, and if you roll a 1 through 33, you've hit one of your friends. So that's you don't have to fire your bow, but that is the risk you take of shooting into melee combat. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm trying to weigh the
Pros and cons?
Yeah.
And the spider is a big boy, by the way.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to do that because they're going to need some help.
You're going to shoot?
Yeah.
All right. Give it to me. Okay, so you hit the spider. That's good. Oops, I don't want Angie. I want the spider.
With a 17 and 5 damage.
Nice. So you have hit him, and he kind of skitters back. He can't go too far there. He kind of puts his thorax up on the back wall there, and you can see, or it does not a he, and it kind of hisses at you, and you see these multifaceted eyes, big black orbs, kind of almost focus on you.
Yeah, that's right. Look at me. Don't worry about them. Look at me.
Yeah, so you're done. So now, unfortunately, wait a minute, let me move her. She's there.
And she's got Angie with, or not
Yeah,
Angie, Chloe.
We're gonna take Chloe off the board, basically. Well, we'll move her, throw her out there, like that. So the spider is there. Spider is there. All right. So the spider is going to reach out and attack the barbarian. All right. Oop, I don't want to target myself. Oops. Let me redo this. Sorry. All right. And ooh, Angie, I think a 17 hits, yes?
Yeah.
All right. You're going to take 4 points of damage. Now I need you to make a luck con save. And remember, your luck should have gone down by 1, at least.
Yep.
So,
I don't think her luck is down. She hasn't succeeded.
It shouldn't
on luck
be.
test.
She hasn't
She
succeeded on
failed.
luck
She
test.
failed.
Yeah, she
That's right.
failed.
Oh no, she used a reroll. Remember?
Yeah, but that doesn't change her luck. That
No,
was
it
for
doesn't
her
change your
dex
luck.
check. That was her dex check to do the rescue exploit.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, so you still have your reroll.
Do you want me to try and rescue you? No, she lost her reroll, but her luck's at
She
full.
lost her reroll. That's right. That's right. So she's used hers. So now she's trying to make a luck con save versus the poison from the giant spider. And this doesn't look like any kind of spider you guys have ever seen. It's very, well, actually, Mavius, you've kind of seen drawings of this.
Uh-oh.
That's a fail.
Yep.
So so your dex goes down by 1.
It looks pretty purplish and blue, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me move the combat tracker here. That was the giant spider. It doesn't say it gets more than 1 attack. On a 19 through 20, though, it's very bad. Angie, you may go.
Some boss monsters do get to go in between every person's round. If
This
you
one
wanted
does
to
not.
do that. Good.
Yeah. It's a minor boss monster.
Well, it's got me nervous.
Yeah, well, it should. That dex loss is brutal.
All right, she's gonna smack the shit out of the spider.
Alrighty. Ooh, look at you. For a total of 9 damage. It screeches as you hear the carapace crack as you bring your hammer down. You see one of its front legs where you kind of swung your hammer and it hit, and you can hear it just crack, and you actually shear the leg off at the knuckle joint, like the mid knuckle joint, and you see this viscous, greenish fluid dripping out of it, and then you hear inside your head, "I will have your soul." And
So, since it's still my turn and I got bit last round, I'm going to state that she goes into ferocious rage.
nice. And what does that do?
So it gives her a +2 bonus on strength and con checks.
Nice, excellent.
On deck attack rolls, damage rolls, and luck saves.
I think like
Nice.
half damage or something too, or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all damage you suffer is halved, including damage that triggers rage. But I didn't do it when I was damaged, so.
Right.
But it's my
And thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. So yeah, you see all of a sudden the barbarian just and a little bit of froth at the corners of her mouth, and you can see the blood rage in her eyes as she's got this grip on this hammer, and she just wants to tear that spider limb from limb. Let's see here. That was Angie's turn. You're not doing anything else, I take it?
No, I don't get another attack.
All right, Hobbs, you're right there. You are neck and neck with this ferocious spider.
So Mavius has seen the blood rage of Angie in the past and hopes to. Oops, I just targeted myself. Move away from her, and he pulls out his rapier, and attacks from over here.
Okay. Ooh,
So that's a 12.
that is a miss.
All right, misses.
Misses. Now, can you use your reroll for an attack? I don't believe you can, right?
Some
Certain
classes can.
Fighters can, right? Yeah, fighters in certain rogues, I think, or something.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Not I. Not my wizard.
All right. My wizard. All righty. So that's you're done?
Yes, sir.
Lothar, you are up. What are you going to do, sir?
We're gonna put another arrow in.
Okay, so percentile dice again. Oh yeah, you target that spider.
Good thing.
Oh, come on!
Your bowstring snaps. Critical failure.
Crap.
Yeah, you hear a twang, and you realize your bow is kind of limp in your hands, and you see that the string is gone. Maybe some of that spider ichor got on it and corroded it. Do you wish to do anything else?
I suppose I'm going to pull my short sword and advance. I get 30 feet, right?
I do like that too about the rules. Everybody gets 30 feet. Keep it simple.
Stupid.
Yeah. That was kind of implied. All right. So the spider now. Oh, he's mad. He's mad, Lothar. You hear in your head, "Your foul magics will not save you, puny," as it tries to chomp you. Ooh, does a 14 hit?
I'm sure it does.
Alrighty.
Yeah, a 13 AC.
Yeah, so 4 points of damage, and I need a luck con save, please.
Unless you want to try and rescue Angie.
She's kind of berserking right now, so I don't think that would be her.
Probably not her deal, is it?
No, she.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, she's too hyper focused on ripping the spider into pieces.
So you do not take the dexterity damage from the poison that's cursing through. Your body has strong constitution. You were able to shake this off, but man, that bite hurt.
Yes, it did.
It hurt.
I am certainly staggered.
Oh, you are staggered. Now, is there a mechanical change for the audience listening at home? And plus, to remind me, because this is my first time running it.
So some monsters, some effects, like some skills or some abilities, when you become staggered, you can do things, or the opponent becomes staggered, you can do special things. I don't know if the spider has anything or not, but I don't necessarily have anything. I just wanted to tell you in case you were, like, we can come up with whichever, like a symbol or something from one of these icons, maybe.
Yeah, I do have a symbol, actually.
This looks like the staggered one. I'm falling.
Fire. Yeah. So, but you don't lose initiative. You don't lose any ability to attack. You're still fully functioning. You're just you're hurting.
No death spiral for the character, which I really like personally. That makes it harder and harder for them to do things. But it does, like, turn on like if certain zombies or ghouls or something, I think they can immediately, like, jump on you and start ravenously attacking you or whatever. Yeah, so it's pretty nasty. But.
So, alrighty. So that was the giant spider. Angie, you were up.
Angie's gonna smack the spider as hard as she can.
Yay! Now, I wonder if she takes into account that you're raging. Don't you get to add certain bonuses? Well, 14 hits no matter. Oh yeah, I guess it did. 13 plus 1, or 3 plus 1. So 3 would be your strength.
Yeah, the +2 is my strength. The +1 is my attack bonus.
So you get another +2 as well, right? From your rage or something you said.
So yeah, we'll need to make a note of that. Let Dab know that when the barbarian rages, that needs to be there should be a button or a toggle or something. That's okay. I mean, he just whipped it up real quick, so no harm, no foul. All right. So with this, describe how you fell this loathsome beast, this outer world planar entity that tried to do something with this little girl. As you hear in all of your minds, you hear. In fact, I need everyone to make a
luck will save.
Make a luck will save, please, for me. You really want to roll very low. Ooh, okay, Angie, like a boss. Lothar, like a boss. Mavis, did you roll a 1?
Yeah.
You guys are dicks.
That is lucky.
Describe how you dispatch this creature.
So yeah, she gets even more enraged because the spider turned away from her to focus on Mavis. So she steps up and just double-handed swings, pulls back, and smacks the spider, sending it spiraling up into the ceiling to smash down and then crumple.
And as your hammer just plows right through this thing, and you see the viscera just kind of spray, and Mavis gets a little bit on him, the thing just literally starts turning into this like neon green and purple ooze as it just starts to like bubble in smoke and just kind of fade out of existence almost. And in a couple of seconds, it's literally gone. There's not even a stain. And as it fades, you hear it, you all hear it. Arachnae shall have her revenge. Mark my words. And you have Chloe bound. She seems a little malnourished.
So
She appeared.
Yeah, Angie's just gonna walk over, throw Chloe on her shoulder, and then start walking away.
Nice. Drop the mic, walk out the room.
Mavius can't help but cast Pierce the Veil to see if he can gather any more information or see if the veil's weakened here for his internal curiosity is not something that he can stand against.
Yes, I make that roll. I really hope you succeed at this.
I do too.
No, you don't.
Here we go.
Oh.
Okay, good. Oh, that 2 was close though. All right. So I've cast Pierce the Veil, so it's like a much stronger detect magic kind of thing where you can.
You guys see as like this, if similar to the other spells you cast, you're tracing these sigils in the air with your finger, and it's leaving like a light purple glow of a trace, right, as you move your hands, I'm assuming. And as you do that, you feel something grips your mind.
Oh boy.
Like your very essence, it grips it. And you see, for Angie and Lothar watching, and even little Chloe as she kind of wakes up and she sees you, your face goes slack, but your eyes go wide, and they turn like ink black. Your whole eye turns black, and Chloe gives a little bit of a scream. You guys see his visage kind of turns to that of the face of a spider for just a second, and then it's gone. His face goes slack again, and his eyes turn to normal. Unfortunately for you, Mavius, it feels like an eternity as you're standing there, and you see this beautiful woman. She has like this purplish black hair, this gorgeous face, but her eyes are completely red. And she's naked, except for her lower abdomen down is that of a spider, a giant spider. And you can see everywhere around you there are spiders, and there's tendrils going, and you see people kind of like they look like ghosts, and the tendril goes from that person to one of these spiders. And you can see, there's another tendril that comes off of the person and goes into this entity, and she looks at you and she says, "You would dare confront Arachnae in her home? Begone!" And you literally snap back. Roll a d4 for me, please.
Mavius tried to fight it to see if he could like recognize any of the people that the tendrils were attached to.
Give you that chance, but roll a d4 for me.
All right.
You take 3 points of willpower.
Oh,
Your
nice.
willpower is down by 3, 4, and roll another d4 for me. This seems to be the vein of LFG. So for 2 days, your
Nice.
willpower is weakened by 3. Yes, you recognize one of them as one of the guards. And then the others, you kind of got a glance. You actually make an intelligence check for me. Oh, look at you, like a boss. Yeah, you recognize, like, you don't recognize them as in a specific person, but you recognize that that's a peasant. Oh, that's a farmer of some kind. That's a laborer. That's like some sort of like a maid or something like that. Yeah, and just a couple of them. I mean, there was about 6 or 7, maybe more. but you didn't have enough time to look. Even though it felt like an eternity for you, it was literally seconds to everybody else. Chloe is crying. She's very gaunt, very pale. She's running a fever. You can see over on the other side of the altar, you can see the crumpled up, dried up husk of Thom.
I will go pick up Thom.
Yeah, it's very brittle, and it's like all the moisture was drained out of his body.
I'll go pick him up and carry him so that he goes back to his father.
Can we take just a moment? My ordeal has left me exhausted, and unlike you two.
Can Angie just throw Mavis on her other shoulder and keep walking?
But wait,
If Mavis allows it.
Yeah, he will, but he's just kind of like futilely tries to like dab at his wounds, but bouncing along on Angie's shoulder.
Yeah, so long story short, we've been going for 2.5 hours. So you will get back. You will return Chloe to Sir Brayton. He is overstatic. I'm assuming, Lothar, you will let the butcher know what has happened to his son?
Yeah, and I'll present him with his body.
Yeah, he actually cries. I mean, he's a large, very blubbery, heavy-set man, and he starts crying, and he doesn't know what to do, and he goes over to a counter, and he takes a rack of what looks to be lamb, and he wraps it in some hemp cloth, and he just gives it to you, and he says, "Thank you." And it's the only thing he can do to repay you for at least bringing him the remains of his kid. And then you can hear as you walk out of the room to leave him with his grief. He's like, "Useless boy, gone off and got yourself killed." But you can hear the sorrow in his voice. He's just one of those grouchy old guys that this is how he deals with his grief. You assume, or he's just a heartless old fuck. You're not quite sure. But the rest of you, you return Chloe to her father. He has a sack. Obviously he's overjoyed to see his daughter, and she's still very weak. But he calls for his physician, and the physician comes in, and she can barely stand, and Angie was carrying her, and you lay her down on a little like couch that he has in that waiting room. And the physician comes in and applies the leeches and everything, and starts putting some tinctures together to heal her, and makes her drink it. And she's like, "Oh no, it tastes nasty," like all kids do. But she's going to recover. Sir Brayton pulls you aside, and he has a small sack, and he hands it to you. And he says, "I would not have believed that you would have succeeded. I thought the worst, and you have my gratitude. You also have a boon. If it is within my power to give you, you may ask. And then don't say now. Take time to think upon it, and know that you have a friend in the castle." And he hands you a sack, and it's I'm assuming you're not going to be crass enough to count it there, but if you look at it later, it's 100 gold pieces, which in low fantasy gaming is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We thank him profusely, and we'll be in touch.
Says I, and he just turns from you, and he goes to administer to his daughter. And you see the crotchety old man that was there before. He looks at you, Lothar, and he just kind of a little bit of a smile, and he nods his head towards you, and then he goes to as well assist with whatever the Lord needs. And we will say that you make it back to Rumbleton's, and we will call it there.
As Mavius is being helped out, maybe like one arm over Angie's shoulder or something, he can't help but like stare at every guard he goes by.
Yes.
To see
Is that
if he
the
can...
one?
Yeah.
You see a little spider sneak out behind the guy's ear and look at you and wave.
Can Angie just, carry him on her back? Because that's going to be faster than, him limping.
We'll say that you're able to get back to Rumbleton's with no problem. So that is my take on low fantasy gaming. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, don't we have like 5 more sessions?
Yes, this is just part 1. And now Mavius has probably some research to do, perhaps. I don't want to say
Yeah,
what
that'll
he
be great.
And some healing.
isn't going to do. I like the little spider waving hi. So, but what'd you guys think of this little adventure
Oh, it's great, man.
It was good. Thanks.
that I kept calling bandits? As I get a little more familiar with Foundry, I think Foundry actually did okay. It was my lack of knowing how to do things in it, but I'm learning every day as I'm trying to play with it a little bit more. But I think it handled everything pretty well. Did you guys feel perturbed by it or upset with it or that it got in the way?
I didn't.
Not particularly. It's going to take a little bit to get used to all the controls, but like the whole measure out and slide along that was one I hadn't known going into this, and that makes that a lot easier than just moving it around. So
Yeah, and like I said, it just takes a little bit of time to get used to it. And I know, Hobbs, you do everything on Roll20. So how did you feel that it went as opposed to Roll20?
I think that there's some work that he's going to have to do to get the character sheet up to the Brent Taylor's Roll20 sheet, because I mean, like, all this stuff is in there. But it's certainly, considering it's not like Dab's like making a ton of money and he's just doing some work on the side, which is pretty awesome. Which I think,
thanks, Dab. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, much appreciated.
We love you, Dab.
So
yeah, I thought for what it was, because remember, this is obviously low. While we all, I know Hobbs and I for sure love LFG. I'm hoping Josh and Joann have a newfound respect for it as well. It's my fantasy game of choice for a campaign now, I think.
It's cool.
I've also been watching Hobbs.
I had fun.
Yeah, I've been watching Hobbs's stream, and I've really been enjoying it. His players are goofballs, though. You guys were all spot on. So, Hobbs, I'm sorry, I'm gonna take my players over yours any day, including you. Including you, I will throw you in that group. You guys role played your characters very well. Yes, and not to say that your guys don't. They have a lot of fun on the stream. If you haven't watched it, please give it a. It's a hoot to watch. I get a kick out of it every time. But I'm pretty pleased with the mechanics. I didn't feel that anything was terribly difficult. Of course, having Hobbs as a resource was excellent and helped me out. But I think definitely the system flows. It's everything I would want out of a system like this, I think. I love the DDM. I like the alternate spell names. It really gives it a flavor. I like the low hit points. It just, to me, everything seemed to go really well, and it fit. The mechanics fit with what I wanted to do with the story, which is very important. I would have had, I think, a harder time doing this in D&D 5th edition. That's just me, because it just doesn't click for me. I have nothing against D&D. It's not my game. I think low fantasy gaming really hit the spot for me, and the monsters I felt were pretty deadly. I love the luck saves and the rescues, and those options that the players get, so that it's not just a sit there, hit and be hit, hit and be hit. You've got some options, which is why I'm a huge fan of Pathfinder 2nd edition as well. You get options. The players have, to me, agency. And I really liked that. So, and you guys, kudos, a big round of applause to you guys. You guys played your characters really well. Lothar, you were just right on with that bow, man. Angie, when you remembered your berserker, that was pretty freaking solid. I want to see when you get going. I have a funny feeling you're going to roll out some damage, and then maybe it's Hobbs, when you get your spells, you're going to be. You're going to be wrong. Your rolls were pretty spot on too. So I think the mechanics really favor the players both ways, good and bad. Like when you start going downhill, you go downhill fast, but it adds a flavor to the game, which I really liked. So kudos to you guys. Thank you. Is this same time frame work for next week, or do we need to give it a week in between, or does that work for everybody?
I'm good.
All right. So we'll plan for next Saturday as well. I think, Hobbs, I'll let you do the same thing again if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm happy to do it. You mind if I say something and then we can end the stream, or do you have something else you want to say? Or
Oh, I'm all good. If you guys are all good and happy.
all right, does anybody else have anything they want to say before I wrap it up?
Nope, I think we're good.
Alrighty, so I wanted to give a shout out to Beast King 1980. I haven't seen you on before. All of us playing, I think, know who that is. I don't ever say what anyone's name is. I just use their handles. So thanks for being here. Jason Weebs, and I saw a few other people. WizBiz512. I hope you guys enjoyed this little trip through Mr. Hobbs's Gamerhood. I wanted to thank Mr. Mean for running the game, and Joann and Josh for being such great players. And
Indeed. Huzzah.
friendly people, and I love to have them here. And I think, like he said, we're going to be doing this for the next few weeks at least. Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Central